much for joining me again today. I'm Jeanie Cisco-Meth, and today we're going to talk about living to your full potential. I have been working with this for quite some time now. It's something that I have worked with for some time. And I keep finding, hey, there's another level. Oh, there's another level. Oh, there's another level. And so as I'm going through this, I'm going to give you some of the tips and things that I do. But first, I'm going to start with a story, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to zoom in on me for a moment. And I want you to think about where you're at and where you want to go, okay? I want you to close your eyes, unless you're, like walking or something, I don't know. But I want you to think in your mind's eye, picture in your mind's eye what you want, okay? Now, the first time I did this, we were doing it financially. What do you want financially? And I wrote a pretty big number down. And then the person doing the training asked me to add a zero. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Then they asked me to add another zero. And what it did for me was it expanded my mind and my possibilities. And so I started teaching a class. This was when I was still a high school teacher, and I was talking with my students and teaching them what I was learning because I was a health teacher and we were talking about goal setting. And so I had the opportunity to immediately apply what I was learning. And I went into the classroom and I was talking and I told them that I had made the goal to make $70,000 in that year, which was double what I was currently making. This was quite a few years ago, but still it counts, right? It was the first time that I learned this very, very important concept of how we set limits on ourselves. And I was talking to my students and I said, this year, I wrote it up on the board, this year I make $70,000. And one of my students who I absolutely love, okay, I love all my students, but some of them stick in my mind forever. And this student, David Campbell, I will always remember him. David, if you're out there somewhere, get in touch with me. I love you, and I haven't heard from you for a while. I'd love to hear what's going on. Anyways, David Campbell was sitting right in the front of the classroom. And he said, Jeanie, and I said, yeah. He said, why are you limiting yourself? And I said, you don't understand. I had to add 2 zeros to this. And he said, because I knew I wouldn't make it through my work. I was on a fixed income. I was on a salary as a teacher. And so I was just adding some extra income. Started at 700, then it went to 7,000, then it went to 70,000. And I said, David, this isn't. And he said, no, you're not getting it. You're talking to us about removing limits, and you put a limit on you. Like, what do you mean? And he says, you need to put the word minimum in there. And I was like, oh, okay, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And so I make a minimum of $70,000 this year. And David Campbell, man, did you blow my life apart. Because by March of that year, I had made $70,000. And of course, we celebrated in my classroom. I shared it with my class. We talked about it, and it was incredible. So first of all, the first thing I want to talk to you about is removing limits. What's the first step to living to your fullest potential? 1. Remove limits. And many of those limits you may not even be aware of. I had one just the other day. I've been working really hard since 2007 on following my intuition, on asking a question and then following that intuition. And what that meant is I would ask a question. As soon as I got the answer, I would take ownership for it. And so what I did first, go ahead and zoom back in on me. I think my videographer is asleep today. And so what I did was I went to the scriptures and I found some scriptures that would help me keep moving forward and remove limits, because fear is a limiter. If you have fear, it's limiting you. And so this one is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And I wrote that down and I put it next to my bed. I put it next to my desk. I put it on my bathroom mirror where I'd see it multiple times. I committed it to memory. And so I would ask the question, Lord, what do I need to do to grow and develop and move forward? And the answer would come, and then I would do it. And then I'd ask another question. The answer would come, and I would do it. Even if I felt a little bit afraid, I would still do it. So remove limits. Take fear out of the way. Now, some fear is good. I can feel you guys going, wait. Okay, some fear is good. Make sure you check your safety gear. That's one thing I always say. Check safety gear and then jump in with both feet. I've learned how to scuba dive. Our whole family is scuba certified. And my daughter and I are afraid of the water. So it takes some motivation for us to jump in. And so I always say to myself, check your safety gear, right? Check your regulator, make sure the hoses are attached, check your belt, and then you jump in. You're safe. It's okay to jump in. And I've adopted that in many other areas of my business and my life. So check your safety gear. I'm thinking I need to write that down. Check safety gear. And then jump in. Okay, so check your safety gear and then jump in with both feet. That helps remove limits. That's just one technique we're going to talk about today. Now we're going to go on to one more thing that can help you reach your full potential. So you're asking and you're receiving help and then you're moving forward. I'm going to show you, we're in my library as you can notice, and I'm going to show you some very, very special books. And so right back here in this corner, these two shelves are all Simple Truths books. I think I own almost every single one they have. They always come out with more. I haven't been there for a month or two. I think I'm going to go check them out again. But simpletruths.com is full of motivational and inspirational books. They have a video, they have books that help you move forward. I'm going to read some of these books. 20,000 Days and Counting. This gentleman, Robert D. Smith, was told he only had 3 months to live, and many, many days later, he's still alive. 20,000 days later, he's still alive. What It Takes to Be Number One. Eat That Frog. Oh my goodness, this is a very good book. Eat That Frog is all about doing the things in the morning or getting the things that you don't want to do, but you need to do done first. Then another one here, 212 Degrees. I talked about that on my podcast this morning. My book may be up in my office. But I bought a bunch of them and gave them to students at work. Here it is, right here. 212 degrees. The extra degree makes all the difference. 211 degrees, water's hot. 212, it becomes steam. And steam can power a locomotive. So those extra degree makes all the difference. The other thing, so books lift you up and help you move forward. Also, songs. Definitely scriptures. Go to scriptures. Oh my gosh, good stuff in here. I have the New International Version. It also comes with a concordance, and it also has related verses, and it goes into a little bit more depth. Absolutely love my Bible. And another thing that I do is music. In fact, just this morning, I have a playlist that helps me keep moving forward. One of the songs we were just listening to was Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel. I absolutely love it. Another song that's on that list, Roar by Katy Perry. I could go on and on. But those are some things that you can do to make sure that you can reach your full potential, right? We're talking about living to your full potential and how you can remove limits. Check your safety gear and jump in. Some people say ready, fire, aim, right? That means get ready, prepare, make decisions, get all your information together. Then do it, and then you measure, monitor, and adjust, because that's important. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I've absolutely enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing some more little tidbits. I'm getting ready to go on stage at Mom's March for America. I'll put a link in the comments below. But I want to thank you for joining me. Make sure you check it out. You don't have to come to Omaha, Nebraska, but they will be live streaming in various areas. They'll also get a hold of those links and put them in as well. But today, we talked about living to your fullest potential and removing limits. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now.